personal behavior, are you referring to calls to escort services?
You know, I think we need to protect that information. Again, his privacy is important. Again, the conduct was just not something that we thought we could continue with him as our head coach.
Do you guys have any regret over putting so much trust in the Coach Freeze?
I believe that our response, again, speaks for itself. I believe he has an established record that's well documented in terms of how he ran the program around compliance, and we still believe in that.
Will a search for a new head coach begin immediately?
It's about the team. The team is the focus right now. I told the football staff that the number one thing, the beginning and the end, is the team, and that's all that matters. I haven't even thought about a search. We had to get a plan in place. Right now, we start practice in less than 2 weeks. There'll be a lot of time to conduct a search for a permanent head coach.
Just to clarify, he was allowed to address the team?
Yes, he was. And the coaching staff. That happened, he met with the staff around 6, the team at 6:30.
How would you describe the meeting between he and the team?
You know, there were several of us in the room. I thought they were locked in. You know, I thought I saw some heads go down, as you might expect. But I thought they handled it very maturely. Several of them came up and hugged me and Matt Luke and the coaches. And from what I could tell initially, they're ready to move forward. They went from there to individual position meetings to obviously talk through, you know, what just happened. We did the same thing when we announced the postseason ban, and so unfortunately we had a routine for this, and because we've gone through a tough time before. But I thought, man, they were solid. They're ready to roll. We talked about, you know, 40-some days till opening game, and I think they handled it very well.
Ross has been very aggressive about promoting this clean cut image and you know, challenging people with recruiting. Bible verses on Twitter. A lot of people will call him a fraud. What do you think about that?
You know, I can only go on the facts, and that's really how we made our decision. And we tried to take the emotional part out of this. And what does the record show? What did we discover? How did he address it? He admitted that conduct to us. You know, no one's perfect. None of us in this room are perfect. And you know, I think moving forward, I think we have to just respect, you know, how he resigned, and we need to respect his privacy.
With so many players being close with Coach Freeze, are you worried that any of them will leave the program?
It's hard to say right now, to be honest with you. You know, we know we start practice, you know, in less than 2 weeks, and we know we have a game on September 2nd, and a lot of them are in summer school. Most of them are. They're working out. They get off for a few days before training camp starts. So from what I could tell, they're going to lock in and focus, and if we have to meet again tomorrow, we'll do that. Many of them have my cell phone. Obviously, they're going to stay connected to their coaches, and so we will give them space. We will listen, and whatever they decide to do, we will support them.
Ross, what's the reason that they requested those 6 days in January?
Obviously, it was a public records request for those specific dates. I think we know the outlet and the source of all of that, and so they were looking for some discovery around who he was talking to, and they asked for my phone records as well during the same type of period. So obviously, it's part of a bigger issue that's been well documented. So I think it lies in that area.
If he didn't resign, would you guys have had to fire him?
We would have exercised the termination clause in our contract for moral turpitude. We would have exercised termination for cause, yes.
What is the buyout situation?
There's no buyout. No buyout, no settlement.
Ross, is there room for one more coach to be added to the staff since Matt's
Yes,
moving on?
we want to operate at a full, countable, you know, 9 assistants, you know, 1 head coach. And so Matt and I talked about a few things briefly. And so we'll kind of address that. If we have to go out and hire somebody, we'll go out and hire somebody. If we need to bump somebody up, but we need 9 assistants. We need the head coach. So we will make sure we are fully staffed.
At the risk of this being too personal of a question, there have been rumors in and around Oxford regarding Coach Freeze and his personal life for several months now. Is this the first time that you've had to confront him with anything or investigated anything?
We've talked about several personal items, and I think we need to leave it there, but we did not discover any of those things being true in our analysis of those items.
Ross,